Connected plant. Well, surely it's one of the hottest topics in the business world today. And here to speak with us today about it is Andy Chatha, president of ARC Advisory Group. Andy, welcome.
It's great to be here with you, Russell, at ARC Industry Forum 2014 in Orlando.
Andy, I know among other things that you are here at the forum to speak about the connected plant. But before we get into that, I guess maybe what we ought to do is define our terms. Many of us might think we know what that means, but let's define it. What exactly is it that we're talking about?
Russell, in 2014, we are going to see explosion of wearable devices.
Wearable devices, interesting.
Many people are already wearing some sort of device to monitor their health or maybe their activities and so forth. So as we are seeing more and more devices connected, certainly I think we can benefit from some of these technologies in the plant as well. Now, when you take a look at what really makes a connected device or connected Internet of Things work, is first you have intelligent devices, or you can call them intelligent machines, or as some people call them, brilliant machines and so forth. But when you look at the plants have been using these intelligent devices for over 2 decades. And then the second component of a connected plant is having the right communications, the infrastructure. And plants also have that in place. Most of the plants, running, they're highly integrated and so forth. So plants have some of the old, they already have some of these technologies in place. But also, then we have some new technologies like, we have much more powerful big data and analytics right now that plants can start to benefit from. We have 3D technologies and many other technologies that power the Internet of Things. They are available, so plants now can start to take advantage of those as well. Then the final component is always, the people and processes, and plants already have those in place. So when you take a look at it, most of the technologies needed to connect the plant to the Internet are already in place. The building blocks are already there.
Andy, the picture that you paint is very, very exciting, actually. But one of the things that we hear more and more and more these days in this interconnected world is about the loss of privacy. There is no such thing, folks say. Well, along those lines, if we're talking about the enterprise, we have to be concerned about cybersecurity, privacy of the enterprise's own internal secrets, etc., trade secrets, if you will. Why would an enterprise want to run the risk of that type of invasion? Talk to us about that.
You're absolutely correct, Russell. The number one challenge by far, we have bringing about the Internet of Things, and actually even otherwise in our personal lives, is intrusion by hackers and so forth. The cybersecurity is by far the number one challenge. And in fact, I said at the conference, we need to develop a strategy. We need to, defend against this problem, not only as a company, but as a country. In fact, actually later on this week, the president is going to make a major announcement in this space that the government, U.S. government, has been developing what they call cybersecurity framework. And the president is going to announce that on Thursday. And we had a preview of that framework presented at this forum yesterday at the workshop that we conducted on cybersecurity. So it is a big threat. But at the same time, the benefits are so great that we believe that companies have to actually definitely protect, but at the same time, they do stand to benefit an awful lot in many different ways from this technology.
You have spoken about monitoring products in service. And I wish that you would elaborate on that right now. And in doing so, tell us just what is it in that for asset owners?
Well, as actually asset owners, even individually, personally, we stand to gain from this technology. Like, we can wear some devices to personally monitor our own health. As actually, homeowners and car owners, we can monitor those assets as well. But when you can also take this all the way to the plant, as plant owners, one of their biggest risk is downtime, the failures happening. If, you could have a catastrophic failure in the plant, and that could actually, that's a big risk for the companies. So the big benefit to the plant owners is reducing the downtime, and as a result of reducing their risk. But that's just one benefit. Other benefits, certainly they can reduce the life cycle cost of the assets by monitoring remotely these assets and reducing the failure rate and also managing these assets better. But another benefit, of this technology is, for example, many companies are starting to use, business systems in the cloud. Once they go with business systems in the cloud, they can start to pay for the software on a monthly basis instead of actually having to buy it upfront and so forth. So one great thing that this technology can do is, more and more industrial companies or otherwise, they could start to, in fact, start paying for the products on a monthly basis instead of actually having to pay upfront. Mm-hmm. So there is many different benefits, but industrial companies stand to gain also because many of these companies are asset owners. Because, for example, take example of the automotive companies. Automotive companies, they certainly use a lot of robots and other machinery equipment in their factories, but then they are the owners of the cars. So as owners, asset owners, they can also start to monitor their assets, the health of their assets in the field, and inform their customers, their owners, if there is a problem. They can alert them and so forth. So they stand to benefit actually a lot of different ways.
I think you've probably convinced a number of people of the benefits that can be derived here. You've talked about the technology being in place for a couple of decades in many instances, but we've also talked about building blocks. And so that leads me to ask this question. Are we heralding something that is down the road for the most part, or is this something that is here today? When, I guess, is the question, will we have connected plants? What's your view?
Well, I think it will vary from plant to plant, industry to industry, and the company to company. But the building blocks are here. We are recommending companies to start experimenting with this technology in their plants now because companies need to, in fact, prepare for it. They need to take a look at, which assets are giving them problems, which ones are failing, constantly are in their plants. They can pick more critical assets that are giving them problems, and they can start experimenting them, start putting actually more sensors on them, making them more intelligent, and start monitoring them so that they can start some of those failures. So it will vary, but we are recommending our clients and in the industry right now that I think they should start planning, because to do that, they have to go through the process. They have to look at, which assets are more critical, which ones are failing. They have to say what data they need to actually capture with sensors, and then how they want to share that data, perhaps even some cases with the suppliers of the assets. So there's a lot of planning that needs to go. It can take years, but we are recommending that most industrial companies need to start planning for industrial Internet of Things now.
Well, given that, obviously they need to do that now or fall behind now. Andy, I know you're busy here, but you found time to speak with us. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Russell. Enjoyed it.
That's Andy Chatha, ARC Advisory Group, and speaking with us about the connected plant. The future is now. Thank you for watching.